I'll let her take it away. But yes, I hope to see a lot of journaling. All right, I'm done.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. I felt very, very relaxed after that breath, so thank you. So yeah, I'll just get right into. Actually, I'm Uwade. I am 21 years old, currently in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and these are some songs that I've written over the past 2 years or so. So this first one is called Moonlight. Do another deep breath. I've tried to write about that light, that glow at night, makes everything like lavender. When I recline my golden cat, it runs, it flies in the moonlight. Here I find my way back from another yesterday. Reach out and touch your lovely face. Ooh. And now you're mine. From here we'll climb that fragrant pine in the moonlight. Here I find my way back from another yesterday. Reach out and touch your lovely face in the moonlight. Here I find my way. You fill 1,000 yesterdays. Reach out and kiss your lovely face in the moonlight. In the Thank you. That was Moonlight. The next one is a song called Pyrrhic, and so Pyrrhic, Pyrrhic. And I've always kind of been fascinated by the idea of like a Pyrrhic victory, which is like a victory that is so detrimental to the winner that it's basically a loss. And so I was thinking about it. I started writing this song that was kind of about youth and being young and feeling nonchalant, blasé, invincible, all these things, and that word just kind of came to me. So that's what this song is about. Leave me alone. I don't want to dance anymore, but I want to know that you want me to. Haven't left my bed, 'cause I've got another world up in my head. And up there, they don't force me to consume. I just say what I gotta say, and I do what I've always wanted. And I don't care if I'm wasting all my youth, 'cause I may not win, but I know I'll never lose. I love you, dear, and I know there's nothing to fear, but I've got enough apprehension for the both of us. So before I go to sleep, I've got to pray the Lord my soul to keep, so that when the world comes crumbling, I won't make a fuss. I'll just say what I gotta say, and I'll do what I've always wanted. And I don't care if I'm wasting all my youth, 'cause I may not win, but I know I'll never lose. Don't tell me that I'm running out of time, when my life's barely begun. So what if I don't wanna have a party? It's just not my idea of fun. La, 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 la. Oh, to be young and restless. La, 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 la. Not quite sure just what my best is. La, 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 la. What more could I want? I just say what I gotta say, and I do what I've always wanted. And truth is not the only thing that's true. And I may not win, but I know I'll never lose. So that was Pyrrhic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This next one is called Ode to Port Meadow, and it is an ode to one of my favorite places, um, Port Meadow, which is this meadow in Oxford that is just it's just basically a large field, but it's so beautiful. I don't know. I just love it. There are horses and cows that roam free, and when it's summertime it floods, and so there's basically a lake, and people, it's so good. It's so good. So this is an ode to that song, a conversation I had with a friend while I was staring out at the meadow. Okay. I wanna live without a care about tomorrow, the way I feel after a bottle of wine. It makes it easier to laugh at how time passes and bodies lay beneath the palatine. One day I'll wake and kiss the soil before the sun does. Then maybe it'll all make sense. For now I wonder why they never ever warned us that Jericho is heaven's only fence. I told a friend that I think beauty is fleeting, and it's never seen but only felt. And when it's quiet, I can hear heart soft beating. It whispers like it knows me well. Let's take a walk down to the meadow by the river, or just a day to clear our mind. And on the nights when the moon is just a sliver, I wish that I could turn back time. I told a friend that I think beauty is fleeting, and it's never seen but only felt. When it's quiet, I can hear your heart soft beating. It whispers like it knows me well. I told a friend that I think beauty is fleeting, and it's never seen but only felt. When it's quiet, I can hear your heart soft beating. It whispers like it knows me well. That was Ode to Port Meadow. Okay, so this next one is a little bit different. This one is called Who Comes and Loves You in Your Dreams. Sorry, I'm typing because I'm just pulling up the lyrics, you know. Don't really know my own song, it's fine. This one I sort of was playing with chords, trying to see if I could find something interesting, and I did, and I was listening to Chamber of Reflection by Mac DeMarco a lot at the time, and it just kind of came from that same sort of mindset, but it's sort of different. Yeah, Who Comes and Loves You in Your Dreams? Okay. Crawl into a strange dimension. Everything around you is pristine. Someone whispers, pay attention. Shadows flicker on the silk screen. You're not lonely, you're alone. No way out and no way home. Find answers to everything once the room stops spinning. Ooh. Forgive me, I'm usually more polite, but the noise is blinding and I can't tell wrong from right. Relive the very best moments of your life as you remember them. The light bulb is on and you never wanna leave. Ask these questions and remember the answers you receive. They'll help you along the way, and you might even change someday. Are you what you are or what you yourself to be? Can you tell the thing you love is splitting at its seams? Have you become a part of the machine? Who comes and loves you in your dreams? 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 There's that one. And I think this is the last song. This is the single, the only song I have out right now. So those were some exclusive tracks, not released. But this one is out on Spotify and all the other listening streaming platforms, and it's called Nostalgia. Sing along if you know the words, and I'll sing along if I know the words. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much for having me again. Amazing. Thank you. Okay. Take a look inside yourself and you will find. Give me just a minute, I won't take your time. And it's harder for you than it is for me. But it's easy to love what you can't see. Ooh, it's time to say goodbye to what you thought you'd be. Maybe one day you'll remember this feeling. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to what you thought you'd be. Maybe one day you'll be free. I thought you were so close to your own destiny, but it's too far to go. So you find a road to lead you back home, and it's new. So are you. There is no more time to make up your mind, so you do. And now it feels like you never move, but it's time to say goodbye to what you thought you'd be. Maybe one day you'll remember this feeling. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to what you thought you'd be. Maybe one day you'll be free. Change is the only thing we're certain of. But it's not a reason not to fall in love. sung that in a while. That one hits. Thank you. Yeah, so that's all for me.
That was so good. Could we just another round of applause, please, everybody? That was fantastic. And it was so awesome to see you guys, scribbling away your little thoughts. So that was really nice to see. Um, yeah, no, so I guess I just want to ask you straight, like, do you have a relationship to mindfulness, or I guess where do you get your inspiration for your songs? Because at least like how I felt listening to your music and just what was coming to me was just your lyrics are so beautiful. Even just with the last song, "Change is the only thing you're certain of." That's incredible. Yeah, that's so true and so incredible. And I guess just lately I've been feeling. Oh, sorry, cat feeder. But lately I've been feeling just like this, like oh no, growing up is happening. Like oh, I don't know. I guess it's just like this pressure of growing up. But I guess it's just change that is inevitable. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess yeah. What is your inspiration behind the songs and the lyrics?
Um, well, I think so much of what makes music special to me, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, is the emotion in it. Like my favorite songs either have lyrics that capture something that I thought was elusive, or the music itself just like evokes so much emotion. So I try to either put myself in a certain state when I write, or I am in a certain state and then I end up writing something that sort of represents that. So pretty much everything, yeah, everything here just came from either feeling romantic, like Moonlight, and I just wanted to write the song that made me feel like I was, I don't know, in a maybe not an early 2000s rom-com because they don't have, but something of the sort, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, with the song Pyrrhic, I was telling you about feeling like I'm young and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want people to tell me to like leave me alone, don't tell me to do anything. I just want to sit and not do my work, like not turning in my essays, and that's what that came out of. So it's really just sitting with how I feel and writing about that. And like I journal a lot. I have like journals that I've been keeping since my freshman year. So music is just like a way to kind of a second level up, like a second step up, kind of adding another layer to what I already like to do. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it seems like it just comes so natural to you. That's really great. Um, yeah, I guess also just to, I guess, start the conversation around mindfulness and I guess like when you play music, like do you feel that sense of mindfulness because you're so focused on playing music and kind of creating this atmosphere?
Mm-hmm. I think it depends. When I'm just singing, yes, I think I can focus in on what I'm saying, and I like to convey emotion. But sometimes when you add instruments into the mix, and you're like, oh, I don't know what my hands are doing and my mouth is doing. So I try to though, and it always helps kind of get rid of any anxiety I feel about like performance. Like, why am I doing this? What am I singing? What do I want people to know? So yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Those are great questions to ask to kind of get into that zone. Um, yeah, I guess I'll open it up to the floor to, I guess, for all of us to have a discussion because I would also just love to know how you guys felt during the set. It was so beautiful. And of course, if you have any questions for Uwade as well. So if you do want to go, just maybe put your name in the chat box, but then after that, just we'll have an open discussion. Let me let you guys be able to unmute yourself first. One second. Okay, you guys should be able to unmute yourself, but if anyone wants to go, if you have a question, um, if you just have thoughts on how you felt. Oh, okay, Stephen, great.
Hi. Okay. Hi. Hi. Yes. I was just looking at some of the other chats, and it says beautiful, beautiful voice, and I was just thinking it's such a beautiful voice. And the first few songs, it sounded to me. The first thing that came to mind was that it sounded like a lullaby, really. Because it was just so so lyrical. And the second song, Pyrrhic, I thought was interesting because it still sounded like it still sounded like a lullaby, and yet there was conflict in it. So it was kind of like a sweet, very sweet sounding voice, but yet with a different meaning. Sometimes with some music that's scary. I can't think of anything right now, but they'll make it sound just like that, very sweet, very soft, but yet something terrible is going to happen, you know. So it was. I really like that combination as well. So thank you.
Great, thank you for sharing. Also, everyone can unmute themselves, by the way. I only muted you guys just for the performance. Yeah, because it would really be great to just get a dialogue going. But I know Will has a couple questions as well. And thank you so much for sharing, Stephen.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the performance. And as Steve was saying, Pyrrhic, it just strikes me as just like a timelessly great song. I really love the lyrics and the melodies. And I was wondering what your inspirations are in terms of singers first and then songwriters. And then I know you're probably getting this question a lot, but I was wondering what your experience was like collaborating with Robin Pecknold, and you know, that whole, I'm sure it must have been, you know, unusual at least. So
Yeah. Can I answer questions?
Yep,
Okay.
yeah, go.
Inspirations in terms of singing. It's depends on the situation. I'd say the people that I have in my mind from a very young age. I have Yolanda Adams. I used to listen to her. She had this gospel album that I used to listen to a lot growing up, and yes, her voice. And then I also did a lot of. This isn't one particular singer, but I did a lot of choral stuff and like a lot of chant, like in church and everything. So that style, I think, has sort of stuck with me of kind of like clear and not too I don't know, just there's like a clarity in a lot of like hymnal music that I've resonated with. And currently I'd say Julian Casablancas is probably one of my singing and songwriting favorites at the moment. I talk about the Strokes way too much. I'm sure at this point people are like we get it, you like the Strokes, but it's just what comes to my mind when I think of people I'm inspired by. So yeah, and also I've always liked the sort of simplicity of Bill Withers, because I feel like there's so much in his lyrics, but it's just like conveyed with such ease and comfort that it's like you can kind of read so much meaning into everything he's saying, but it's also like they're just simple, beautiful songs. Also, Robin Pecknold, to segue into the second question, I love his lyrics so much, and working with him it was kind of a strange experience because it was very organic, as some people have said. He just DM'd me because I did a cover of one of his songs, and he was like, I'm recording this album, would you like to sing on the album? And I wasn't in New York where he was at the time, but I was going to be in England when he was in France. So that ended up working, and I just took a train to France, recorded day of. So I spent about 6 or 7 hours and then left the next morning to go back to school. So it was very much like stop by, like wave at the Eiffel Tower, and then go back to England. So it was a lot of fun though. It was he's so kind and so generous. So I just had a great time. I was like basically like having a ball by myself in a giant studio, just like playing all the instruments. There's like 50 guitars. It was a dream. It was a dream.
Wait, what? That's so incredible. You just are. I like. I hope you just remember that story for the rest of your life. I'm sure you will. That's congratulations. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, really, really great. Yeah, Yeah, okay. So I just thank you so much for asking the questions, Will. That's an incredible story. I guess I just want to move it to the rest of the group. Does anyone want to share about like how they felt during the set? What maybe some memories or feelings that they were thinking? You can just unmute yourself and talk as well. I know I was really thinking, I was getting nostalgic with the music and just thinking about growing up. And honestly, in one of the songs, I think it's about the field, I was really just like, I felt kind of bad because I was like, I don't really have a favorite place that I love that much. So I was like, oh man, like, wish I did. But so I guess like, did anyone else feel anything during that song? The one where she was talking about a favorite place. Did anyone want to like? Does anyone have a favorite place that they wanted to go back to?
I will chime in, yeah, and say that yeah, I also, that song resonated with me as well, because actually the reason I know Crystal and I know Hermione and I know basically everyone here is because I did a semester abroad in the UK as well. And I think there's a special sort of bond and a connection that you have with that place where you studied abroad. And I think you can also put it on a pedestal because it was like, I mean, those experiences are always guaranteed to be really, really fun. And especially when you grow up and you think back about parts of your life that you miss, it's definitely times like those and opportunities like those to, you know, go abroad and meet people.
Yeah. Daniel, I saw you nodding your head. Did you have anything you'd like to share? Maybe in agreement?
You're putting me on the spot. I don't have a good one. I was agreeing with his notion about like your study abroad is something that you kind of carry with you. I was in Turkey and like I always think back to it. The music was amazing. It felt really like angelic to me and like kind of light, and made me, not that the music was light, but there was like a, I don't know, it had like a real, just, I've been like pretty stressed lately and like working a lot and stuff, and it just like really helped me just kind of like relax and take stock. And I journaled like 15 pages or something ferociously. So it's the first time I've done. I used to journal all the time, and I haven't done it in forever. So it felt really great and helped like unlock a lot of what I was feeling.
What do you think about music like helps you unlock, I guess, like your emotions and just how you feel?
You're a good interviewer, Crystal. I don't know. I think that it's like emotive, you know, it's just purely emotional, and it's appealing to, you know, so much is appealing to your brain all the time. Like podcasts and everything is about your brain and rationality. And I think music is just emotional and like allows you to just feel and not overthink. I think like, when I'm as an adult, I just overthink everything, like constantly overthinking everything. And like when you listen to good music, you stop to just, your brain shuts up for a few minutes.
Yeah, no, same. I'm barely an adult, and I've been overthinking since I was a child.
Now when you're listening to good music, right?
Exactly. I'm just able to become present when I listen to music, and it just makes my day so much better. Really relaxes me. Tiffany, I saw you nodding your head as well. I guess, what is it about music that makes you feel so relaxed? I'm assuming that it relaxes you. But what about music do you love the most, or how did you feel during the set?
I think, well, I tend to just nod my head as I listen, but I think that yeah, I think that the music was really beautiful, as everyone's been saying, and for me it brought up emotions of like, I guess the parts about where you sing about like letting go, especially in the last song, really stood out to me. So I think it brought up uh, just a feeling of resonance, and yeah, really feeling those questions as well. And I actually wanted to ask, like, I'm curious if you could share more about like your inspiration for writing that song. It just sounds like something that's it just sounds like a really wise song. And as I feel like as I get older and become like deeper into adulthood, it becomes harder to let go, and I just want to be like more set in my ways. So I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, thank you. That's such a good question. It's sophomore year was a very pivotal year for me, and I applied for my study abroad program during fall of that year, and it was a year-long program, so I was supposed to be studying abroad for a year, and I was excited at the prospect on paper, but then after I got in, I was very, very scared because I didn't know how I was going to just leave behind all the friends that I had made and everything that I loved. Like I had my a cappella group that I bonded with so much, and you know there are opportunities for music in New York, and I was like, what if I'm just like walking away from a place that I should stay in, and I was very stressed about it. And some of my friends were like, you should stay, you should stay. And I mean, they were sort of joking, but I was taking that very seriously and taking it to heart, and I was stressed. I was like, I can't leave. How do I leave all of you? I've never done anything like this before. So I just sat down in my dorm room one day and I took my friend's advice. She said, just write a song. When you write a song, write it as if it already exists. And so I just started, I picked those chords and I wrote like, let's say like 85% of it in 15 minutes because I just started singing sort of the melody. Melody came first, words came later, but I was just thinking of what I needed to hear. And what I needed to hear was, it's time to say goodbye to what you thought you'd be. And it's like a very, you know, in the case of like studying abroad for a year, it's like, okay, relax. Like it's really not that big of a, you'll come back your senior year. But at the time I was like, this is the biggest moment, biggest decision of my life, do or die here. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Oh, that was such a good question. I'm sure other people felt this way too, because I felt that way before going abroad as well. But then, you know, then graduation came and I was like, wait, no, this is a completely different feeling. This seems so much bigger. But I don't know. Yeah, it's good just to remember that, you know, change is just something that has to happen, and it's always a good thing, I think. Yeah, I guess it's 7:47 now, but if does anyone else have any feelings or things that they want to talk about? It can be about growing up, just the pain of it, or any questions at all. All right.
This is a super quick question.
Go ahead.
But speaking of speaking of letting go, on a lighter note, I was curious if you would be like releasing any of this music. I came across your music through the Fleet Foxes album, so I was just curious if we'd be able to hear more at some point.
Yes, things are in the works. And actually, all of those songs that you heard, if you have particular favorites, let me know. And I will especially include, I mean, I'll probably include all of them in the album. But yes, something is coming, hopefully next year. Because I've been sitting on a lot of songs and scared to release them, but there's nowhere else for them to go but out. So I'll have to do that.
Sweet. Thanks, guys. And thank you so much for performing. That was so beautiful. Really was a treat. Yeah, and thanks you guys for the people that participated. Thank you so much. I know it can be intimidating, but you know, sharing feelings is great. And I hope you learned a little bit about mindfulness and this whole thing. So I usually do these shows every 2 weeks, but you know, the holidays are coming up, so I'm actually going to be stopping for a bit, and I'm going to drop it here, but stay tuned. I'm trying to make this a live event, so if you're in the New York City area in the springtime, yeah, just wait and see. Trying to put that together. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming, and I will post Uwade's information on Instagram. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, see you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.